Hello, beautiful people of the Most High. I'm here to, I guess, give an update. So, um, basically, Dad's been spanking me, pretty hard and stuff like that, and I'm going through this transition period. So, I've told you guys enough of my story for you to know that I came from a pretty tough environment. I grew up with people that were in mafia, all kind of, like I said, just we grew up around each other. We didn't even look at color. It was all the migrants and immigrants that came over back in the 40s after World War II that they put in what they called like this white project. They had a black project. It was down by the river, and they were high-rise buildings. And then it was a white project, which were, I guess some of them had like 8 different units, and others had 4. And it was upstairs, downstairs. The people that lived upstairs, their entry was around the back, of the building, with stairs and stuff like that. And we lived in a downstairs unit. My dogs, just ignore them. We lived in the downstairs unit, so we all we got along. All our friends, so we all kind of had the same kind of mentality, and that's what has kept me in survival mode. The demons really don't want me to get this one out, but I'm gonna continue to get it out. I'm not gonna pause it. You're gonna see a black screen. And I'm going to take these dogs in the house. Okay, so we're back. So, most of us, I guess some of the females, we just kind of hung out. It was kind of like the New Jersey, New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Detroit, tough girl type of thing, so that's what sustained me up until this point, because I had to survive, the environment that I was in. So the Lord told me, it was fine for the time up until now, but He wants me to shut my mouth. And I'm going to show this video, or at least a clip from it. And He showed me, He gave me a vision. He says He wants me to take on the tough girl cowgirl role. The 2 Native American tribes that are in my bloodline, which are Blackfeet. There's a Blackfoot, so I don't know what the difference, but my maternal grandmother told me Blackfeet, and that was verbally, and she was in her right mind and everything. And then on my mother's side, it's a Cherokee. So, like I said, I don't know if it's the black Cherokees with the straight hair like the people from India, or if it's the red tone ones, but there's Cherokee. So I've got to take on those female warrior roles because they would go to battle and stuff like that. And I also have to take on the African royalty role as back in Egypt. I know I sound like I'm nuts. I'm really not nuts. This is all prophetic. Okay, so I got to give up that I'm a kick your so-and-so butt role, and I got to do it a more dignified tough girl role. And most of the people that are where I'm going are where I'm from. We all grew up, most of us grew up without a lot, but we were the ones who survived and took care of our friends. We were the bully beaters and things like that. So I know that I'm talking about some high people too. So because President Trump, he actually reminds me of my grandfather's friend, Mr. Red. And Mr. Red was the bookie. And I know Mr. Trump knows what I'm talking about from his New York days, before he got into that, when he was in with boxing and, King and Tyson and all of them. So, yeah, Mr. Red was the bookie. My grandfather was a number runner. And I actually they gave me a roll. So I had my own little number pad, right? It was a little, I said it was probably about a 5x3 pad that everybody would write their numbers on, what they wanted to play for the day. This is before the time of lottery. So you get your numbers in. They bet on the races. It was just 3 numbers, 3 digits. The races and the stock exchange. And those were 3 digits. And you would get the numbers from the SEC stuff. But my grandmother, she was the one who would get that stuff, right? And then we would feed everything back to Mr. Red. And then once my grandmother would get them, and I was like probably about 7, 8 years old, she'd give me the numbers. And then I would call all the people who had turned their numbers into my grandfather. We were all crooks. Mr. Trump reminds me of Mr. Red. I mean, Mr. Red took care of us. Took care of all the folks in the neighborhood. Didn't matter what color we were. Like I'm saying, the people that are there now, they had to rub off their tough boy, tough girl stuff. So I'm in my indoctrination period. I just want to read a couple things to you just to show you the role that I will be taking on, because we are wearing masks when we go at this level, and then we decompress, I guess, when we go home. So cowgirls are widely considered tough. Let me move this over. A reputation earned through their history of enduring physically demanding labor and a spirit of resilience. The cowgirl spirit is a mindset of strength, courage, and independence that is central to their identity, both in traditional and modern contexts. And then I have one for, I gotta go to the history part. Got one for both the Blackfeet and Cherokee traditions have featured remarkable female warriors, though in different ways. The Blackfeet had manly-hearted women like Running Eagle, who actively participated in hunting and warfare, often gaining renown in leadership roles. The Cherokee had beloved women, or war women, who were honored for their wisdom, leadership, and heroic acts, including fighting on the battlefield, a role exemplified by Nancy Ward. I'm sorry, my arm's moving. And then I have one for the African royalty role. So, and I said, Lord, why does this, sound like a storybook? Because my husband, he still doesn't believe me, because I had me text him the other day. He said he had something to tell you. Okay, guys, I'm back. I think I had just finished up explaining the role of the Native American women warrior leaders. Okay, now this is African royalty. Okay, try to angle this. African royalty has a rich and diverse history with examples including the ancient pharaohs of Egypt, the legendary Queen Amina of Zaria, and the warrior queen Ninja, Nzinga of Angola. African queens held diverse roles as rulers, military leaders, advisors, and political strategists, shaping kingdoms through warfare, diplomacy, and administration. The titles and structures of African monarchies vary across the continent, from absolute monarchies to constitutional roles, with some societies still maintaining strong traditional royal institutions today. So, as I learned these roles and traditions of the various aspects, the roles that I have to take, he wants me to take a kinder tone. Thank you, Freya. Mommy is being nice because Daddy spanks me. I am going to show that clip in there. He spanks me a lot. And I'm not like Uncle Harry sitting there looking at the TV with Snow getting signals and stuff like that. These are real words, real videos with real depth and meaning that God is using to get the word out to his people. So I'm not the only one that's receiving this. There are 12 that have to be awakened right now, that we're all waking up. My current husband's still asleep. God told me this is my assignment. Although I keep trying to get out of here, I gotta get him. I have to wake him up because he has a huge role. He just doesn't know how big he is. You know, his leadership role in this thing is really, really big because of the way he was done. And yeah, I'm telling on y'all trying to hide his stuff. Okay, I'm not out of my tough girl role yet. Okay, I'm in transition, so I'm gonna say this: the way he was treated. He knew the call on his life. He was anointed as a little boy, but the way he was treated and made to think that he was less than all that time, and just, I don't know, God won't show me the abuse, but he went through some abuse too, okay? And it fragmented him, okay? When you're a child in your developmental state, the brain is just pliable, okay? It absorbs it in its environment. And if all you hear is toxicity and things that you're not this, you're not that, as you grow up, you take on this arrogant role. And arrogance is a sense of hurt. It's a sense of betrayal. Although you are trying to portray yourself to the world as being this and that, of having this and that, that is actually you reliving whatever you went through as a child, and now you're like trying to prove it to yourself and to the world. So that's what arrogance is all about. That's why Dad beat me up when I would beat people up like that, because he opened my eyes. I have a spiritual sight now, so I can see all kind of things. Like, man, I can see like immediately. And this is not being judgmental, people. So you people out there are going to say I'm judging people. I am not. This is spiritual sight. This is from God. He shows me right away the dark and the light in the person. Okay? He shows me ones with the good spirits and the ones who have spirits that inhabit spirits of darkness. Okay, so I can see that now, but yeah. So I've got to take a kinder tone to the videos. It's good that I'm using Kayla, but sometimes I make Kayla say things that aren't so nice. So I'm still going to do the topic of the false church, but I can't beat them up because they're lost. So I have to use a kinder tone, but I'm still going to bring the truth. Okay? Especially with the part of the wheelchair and stuff like that. I really did not like that. I didn't like her being put in that room. So that's why he's making me use a kinder tone in the delivery, although it's AI. Yeah, so I've got to change that. And when we get back to that topic that I said had a lot of ugly stuff that we do as a society that we hide because it's horrible stuff that we do in the dark. You know, all of us have done stuff in the dark that we're not proud of, although we pretend that we haven't. But it's those things that still go on today, especially when it comes to children. That is near and dear to my heart. Please don't hurt innocent children. No. Especially having been a victim of that. So, I mean, maybe that's why I'm an advocate. Maybe that's why all the other warriors that are currently there in their positions waiting for me to get my act together have a heart for children. Yeah, so, because they were all abused. And I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm going to, that topic of that, the things that we do, whether it's incest or all that. He said the art's good. He wants me to show the art and put parental advisory on the video, but he doesn't want me to tongue lash you all. Okay, so it's gonna, he wants me to do it in a manner of showing his heart and how his heart's breaking when he sees these things. So you'll see that depicted in the art. Okay, how his heart's broken over what we are doing, what we're allowing the enemy to fool us to do. So he just wants us to wake up. Just wake up, and it's not gonna cost you anything. All right, I love you guys. Show you Red and how he got up there. Nobody knows because he's got really bad arthritis and hip dysplasia, but somehow he climbed up on 3 beds. We're cleaning, because we're getting ready to sell the house, but I saw this dude take off in an outright sprint yesterday because of a CAT. I can't say the word because then he'll start barking frantically. But yeah, and this is as high as the bed. So how he got up here? How'd you get up there, Red? You want to talk to anybody? Tell him how you got up there. He said he's tired of his beds being stacked up. You're gonna be cozy and comfy, right, Red? All right, guys.